Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. Welcome back. It's officially fall at the Weedsman.
Finally. The calendar finally.
Which I think is probably the top answer to if it could just be one season all year long. It never changes. Like, a lot of people's first instinct might be summer, but believe me, you get sick of it. Like, fall.
No. For me,
fall
it's summer number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
But fall number two. We got our pumpkin spice vapes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be one, right? They got to exist. Pumpkin spice weed vapes.
I'm sure, like, it's probably even just a strain. Or do you want a strain called pumpkin spice, or do you want a flavor?
I bet you
could
get
like
a flavored pumpkin spice flavored weed vape.
I don't know. Pumpkins is gross. It's seeds, it's rind, it's insides, all of it. It's meant to be carved up, mutilated, left to rot on the porch, eaten by squirrels. It's fucking squirrel food. It's fucking elk food. It's a whole meal for a fucking doe, fattening up for the winter.
The company Fernway makes a pumpkin spice
Fernway?
vape cartridge.
Is that a local? I'm from Ferndale. Is that near me?
Hold on, well, let's see. Pumpkin spice vape near me.
Captain
Let's see what
Fernway
Google comes up with.
Wasn't that a Star Trek? I got offered tickets to go see William Shatner live appearance at a special viewing of The Wrath of Khan. But I couldn't in good conscience go to that.
Why?
Well, there were plenty of other people who would scoop up the tickets. It wasn't like they were offered up to a group of people, and I wasn't going to like jump on it. And I have no idea. I didn't ask how much you wanted for them because like there's no way that it would be worth it. I'd pay like $7 to go see like a.
He did realize.
I don't care to go see William. I've heard William Shatner on 387 podcasts.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Well, I did hear too.
What's he going to talk about? Fucking William Shatner.
He's coming around and doing this. And for this
I've
movie,
been there.
He did sign up to have a bunch of nerds scream at him for however long this tour is. Khan! Because that's the movie.
Yeah. Or being asked to do it.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't do.
But at this point, he's 90-something. You got to ride it out, right?
He doesn't seem to like change, though. I mean, I understand he definitely looks older. I don't know. Maybe, I'm sure, like, it's one of those things where, like, you grow up with it. So maybe you just don't notice the change.
He's definitely wider than he used to be.
Yeah. No, I'm not even talking about his physical appearance.
Looks like a stretched out version.
Yes. Well, we should all hope to be stretched out in such a way.
Well, yeah, 90-something.
Yeah. He's hale, right? He's fit for his age. Everything is with
and
an
relatively
asterisk.
lucid for his age.
I know it's everything past 90 is just with an asterisk. How long till Donald Trump's 90? Isn't he? Didn't we talk about this? Is he only 82?
No, Trump. He's a couple years younger than Biden.
Oh, okay. I thought he was older then for some reason.
No.
He wanted to bring back Johnny Carson. Talk about old.
Johnny Carson's fucking dead.
Yes. That's how old. No, he was, griping about, because everybody on late night hates him.
Mm-hmm. Well, late night, that's a dying format. At this point, they need to do whatever they can to get people to watch it.
Wow. You sound like a Trump supporter, huh?
Well, no. The numbers are there.
Listen, this is what he says. They're all dying. Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, I'll tell you. They're dying.
No, but that's true. What was it, James?
They are, yes.
They didn't renew, didn't they, James Corden's show, they didn't renew it simply because wasn't making them money. Seth Meyers' show, it's done.
Yeah.
It's old. Like Seth Meyers, they got rid of his band. Jimmy Fallon recently, the Tonight Show that's been on for fucking since the 50s is now going to 4 days a week.
What do they do? Taking Friday off?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the way to do it then.
Yeah, but no, depending on the night, Fox's late night show beats them.
I call Fallon's the first one that's going to go he's going to go straight to TikTok, right? They're just going to film bits so that they can go to TikTok or Facebook, I should say.
Well, shit, that wasn't even enough to save Corden's show. Because he was big on social media with the fucking, whatever they did in the car where they sang the song or whatever.
This is the quote from Trump. They're all dying. Where's Johnny Carson?
He's dead, you idiot.
Bring back Johnny.
Johnny's fucking dead, dummy.
It made you appreciate the greatness of Johnny. These three guys are so bad. They're so bad. He's talking to a lot of people, so you know he's yelling.
Johnny was in his 70s 30 years ago. Yeah. He's left the planet.
Is he in the process of, I'm showing you a picture of him here though. Is he in the process of allowing himself to go gray? Like it's happening naturally?
Maybe they're phasing it in.
Or is that just a bad shot?
It could just be a bad shot.
Yeah. Or maybe he just skipped a day on the color. Or maybe he's just so orange that his hair doesn't read as blonde anymore. All of those things could be true. And by the way, his hands, and I'm talking, it's hard not to talk about him and adopt his cadence. And by the way, his hand's short and white. His hands are like so white.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, now you got in my head. They're all dying.
Yeah.
Can we bring back Johnny Carson?
Oh, God. That's the thing about the fall. We're not going to talk about politics.
One of my friends has discovered Shane Gillis in his Trump impression. And Shane is just like, you have to, what does he said? You have to describe just where you're at. I forget how he said you have to do it, but he's like, I walked into this room. I said, wow, this is a big room. What a big room this is. Like, just describe what you're looking at.
Yeah. It's not, it's because most of what comes out of his mouth is nothing. So you just have to keep talking and get the cadence right. Double down on everything, you know. We had a great quarter. Some say it's the best.
I was listening to the Wiesman podcast. Some say it's a great podcast. Some people are saying, not me, it's the greatest podcast.
I'm hearing. Oh, yeah, there was a shooting at my Meijer. I was just bad-mouthing this Meijer. Probably right around the time that this was happening. Oh, no, this was at 11 a.m. It was shut down until 4. Yeah, that's my Meijer on 8 Mile. It's like a half mile from my house. Sometimes I walk or ride my bike there.
What? Somebody pulled a gun on someone on a store on 8 Mile?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Two people got into an altercation. One of them pulled out a gun and shot the other person. Victim, a man in his 50s. I'm almost in my 50s.
Could have been you.
This could have been me. Suffered non-life-threatening injuries. I could have been non-life-threatening injured. According to the DPT, the shooter, the man in his 30s, I've seen a lot of those types around, were arrested and there is no threat to the public. Oh, okay. Well, I feel better now. I was actually just thinking that I need to find someplace else to go on the reg.
I mean, just, go into Royal Oak. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Go to the Kroger on.
It's not like I'm
saying. Go to the Kroger on Woodward in Birmingham.
The Meijer, it's a Meijer, right? It has the same price as every other Meijer has. I'm not saving any by going to the 8 Mile.
Yeah, you're just trying to up your street cred.
Yeah. And I was just bitching about, like, every time I go there, the returnable bins are always full. It's like 20 machines.
Hold on, I need to sit down.
10,
I'm already sitting down.
10 are non-functional, and the other 10 are flashing bin full. And there's one guy in there emptying the trash who just shrugs. And just look like you walk in there and he just looks at you like, what do you want me to do?
Your job, perhaps.
And there's never any baskets. The baskets are always like...
What?
I don't, like, literally.
It's a Meijer.
I know. You have to grab a basket from the lot or else you'll be scrounging.
By the way, for kids, if you don't know what a Meijer is, it's a Midwest regional. It's a Walmart.
It's a Walmart, yeah.
Yeah, it's a regional...
It's our Michigan's version of Walmart.
Yeah.
They never have... for some reason, they never have the reusable bags. They're always out of stock.
Well, I wouldn't know where to go. I don't know. I always use a cart. And for me, no matter where I go...
No, the grocery bags. You bring your own. You bring instead of getting a disposable one.
Yeah.
You don't have a reusable grocery bag of any sort?
No, fuck the planet.
I have 3 or 4. I just keep forgetting to bring them with me.
Nope. I grab my plastic bags and I keep them shits. I'm one of those people.
I keep the shits too because they're for the shits, the cat shits.
Ah.
That's I take 2 plastic bags, and then anyway, there's got to be something else we could talk about. Henry Wong, who had heard the gunshots nearby while waiting for the bus, said, quote, "If you have a misunderstanding, talk it out. Don't shoot it out."
Well, is he?
Wow.
Has this gentleman possess a map and realize where he's at?
Yeah. Is that all the information you could get off this guy? Because, like, that's enough to get you a podcast at least.
Hey, got you mentioned on a podcast.
Yeah. We got the next Hawk Tuah on our hands. I bet you Hawk Tuah is like a verb, or not be a verb, not a verb.
She's a podcast now.
Yeah, she has a podcast, but I bet you, like, in quote unquote Hollywood, people use it as a descriptive, like, oh, they're a real Hawk Tuah.
For now. I mean, she's already cooling off.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably what it means. That, it's a fad. There's no there. I listened to her whole interview with Bill Maher, and I was like, okay, I never have to listen to another interview with her again or pay attention to anything that she does. If she had anything interesting to say, Bill Maher brought up interesting subjects. If she had anything interesting to say, she had an opportunity to.
Like, was Bill trying to sleep with her? Because Bill, like, was he out of people to talk to?
I don't know. Bill, probs. He's like, so Hawk Tuah, I'm not sure I understand it. Maybe you can demonstrate for
right.
me. This used to be where I had girls Hawk Tuah on me, but now we do a podcast. So meet me in the helps quarters in 15.
Man, you're sounding more like Chris Hansen than
Yeah.
Bill Maher.
I don't know how to do the Bill Maher. You have to be like really.
Are you going to tell her she's free to leave next?
I don't.
You're free to go. No, you're free to go.
I saw The Substance. That's what it was called.
What's that?
This was
a movie, a TV show?
This is a movie. Yeah. It's a movie. Here, let me find Coralie Farget.
What words are you saying?
I'm casting a spell on you. The Substance, directed by Coralie, Coralie. So like Coraline, but they lost an N. And then Farget, Fargeat. Is that like Middle Eastern, you think? Fargeat?
Maybe.
Described here, so the movie in the AV Club article is described as an orgiastic tale of blood, bile, and body dysmorphia. Some nice alliteration. It stars Demi Moore as a very like autobiographical role. She's playing an actress who is, past 50, and Hollywood's like, okay, go ahead and retire now. Thank you. We don't need a saggy butt anymore. Go on. But this is, it's a very exaggerated movie. So she's not, in this, she's like a super, super popular and very sexy fitness instructor. It's like a very neon colored aerobics show that like is mostly about displaying parts of the body, more so than probably getting anybody in shape. And Dennis Quaid is the very smarmy head of network. There's lots of... Boy, if you ever wanted to watch Dennis Quaid eat, this is your kink. The movie has a lot of close-ups of him dismembering shrimp, which was amongst the things that were difficult to watch in this movie, that was probably tops of the list. And it had a lot to contend with, but I was feeling nauseous with this scene of him like taking apart shrimp and eating them with his bare hands and then sucking on his fingers. Yeah, it's a horror movie, I guess, or kind of sci-fi. I mean, it's just really one far out premise. If you could take a series of shots that would make you young again, would you do it? And here's the catch. You're only young for a week and then you have to go back to being your old self. But you can do it again. You just have to alternate like that. So a week on, week off. Oh, but here's another catch. The young you grows inside of you and pops out your back, and then you have to sew up the old you so it doesn't bleed to death. And then you come back to the lifeless corpse of the old you when your week is up, And I'm spoiler alert, big time for this movie. And then do this weird transfer thing with lots of needles that get progressively larger and larger. It has, what was, what was the movie where everyone was doing heroin?
Trainspotting?
No, the other one. And lots of sex.
Velvet Goldmine?
No, but you're around there. No, it was like an award-winning film.
Requiem for a Dream?
Yes, that one. Requiem for a Dream. Yeah. It's very much like that. It's like high drama, very exaggerated, and it's really gory. If you don't like needles, my daughter didn't like needles. Still doesn't. Probably hates them even more now. That was the only thing she couldn't watch, was that they were constantly sticking needles somewhere. There's all these different processes to go through to not only make this clone that grows out of you, but also maintain it. And a lot of big needles. Margaret Qualley plays the young version of Demi Moore. And you've seen some of The Leftovers, right?
Yes.
I imagine that's where she was like the older daughter not older daughter.
It's been a while.
She was like the teenage daughter in that show. She's been in quite a lot of good things. She was in, what was the Coen? Was it Driveway Dolls? Something like that. The last Coen Brothers film about the two lesbians that go on a spree of sorts.
Yeah, Driveway Dolls sounds correct.
This AV article is saying that since its premiere at Cannes, much ink has been spilled about the film's references to Kubrick, Hitchcock, Cronenberg, Lynch, Oscar Wilde, and even Death Becomes Her. Yeah, it's an intense movie. It's a little long at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I didn't really notice. It really, really sucks you in. Demi Moore is just fantastic throughout it. And it's a very revealing performance because they show the entire thing. There's ever a part of Demi Moore that you wanted to see more of, this is the movie for you. Oof. Along with the lovely Qualley, who I guess we had just seen her in that Coen Brothers movie. And I was like, boy, did they do something to her? Because Demi Moore has fake boobs. She got them for that. I don't know why, but she got them for that striptease movie. And I don't know. I always thought she was perfect the way she was. I don't think the bustier version of Demi Moore is any sexier. And I'm not.
Bruce Willis was like, "Stop! No, don't."
Yeah. But that being said, she's a...
Well, I guess if it's for a role, I guess you got to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's not like it was for a role. I'm sure it was something that she wanted to do anyway. Why not get a role out of it? Because I think
what husband's stopping that?
But whatever her reasons for wanting to do it, it's not like she could do it and nobody was going to comment on it, right? She was a very popular actor at the time, and people knew what her body looked like. We've seen a lot of it on film.
I feel if you're the husband, the move is,
and you can't just say, "Oh, I got pregnant and they stayed big,"
right,
and square shaped.
If your husband, the move is initially, no, this is the move, is you initially have, no, honey, you're great the way you are, right? That's your initial move if you're the husband.
Yeah,
especially if it's her idea.
That would be my initial move because that's what I believe. God, if I was married to Demi Moore, I would beg her not to fucking.
But then after that, if she just keeps pushing it, no, okay, fine.
Yeah,
I did my part.
I don't know. We're just cut from different cloth.
I guess if you want them, you want them. I'll be the supportive husband on this.
But so, anyways, Margaret Qualley she doesn't have as big a boobs as Demi Moore has. Nowhere near. But she had sizable breasts. Not as big.
In a world where a dude who's been dead for 20 years can be in a whole Star Wars movie, I'm sure we can give this chick bigger breasts.
They were very, very convincing. I had no idea. Because I thought, maybe she got a boob job and it's just, they do it more natural now. and she didn't like go straight to D like Demi. But yeah, I guess there was, so I have no idea. Maybe her ass isn't that great, but she looked great in it either way, which is, I don't know. I'm spending too much time talking about the bodies of these, but they're all over this fucking movie. And there's so much nudity and sexualization of body. Like her younger self ends up getting the show. Like they need somebody to replace her for the fitness show, right? So this younger version of herself tries out and of course gets it because she kicks ass at the job. And so both characters, that's their job, is to like go on, like wear skin tight or, next to nothing clothing and spread their legs and, and it's all sexualized to the point where like it just becomes part of the horror. It doesn't even register as erotic anymore. Even the straight nudity, you become like a nerd to it.
Yeah, I heard like that one Emma Stone movie that she got the Oscar for. I heard by the end of that movie, you are tired of seeing her nude.
Poor Things?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I went to see it with my daughter, who is 18 and has seen crazy shit before. I wasn't prepared for what we saw in this movie. I wasn't sure if she was good with it, but she only looked away from the parts with the needles, which I expected. And we talked about it afterward, and I was like, so that was something else, like, trying to feel her out on it. And I think she thought I didn't like it, so she didn't want to say anything. And then when I finally got it out of her, she was like, no, I loved that movie. That movie was amazing. And then she couldn't like stop talking about it. And this movie is made more for a woman than it is a man. It's about a woman's experience, Men just don't go through. Not to say men can't do the procedure, but the story that they're telling revolving around this procedure, it's a woman's story. There's no two ways about it. The stuff that they talk about is stuff that only women experience. And it's not just gory horror. It's not just psychological horror. It is smart. It's over the top, but the story that it's telling and how it tells, it's just, yeah, it's a really difficult movie to describe as you can imagine, because I'm kind of all over the place. But yeah, it was intense and bloody.
Oh, sounds like a must miss for me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of blood.
Yeah, I can't do lots of blood.
Maybe you'd like the Penguin show better. That one was pretty good. They had the premiere of the...
I've heard nothing but good word of mouth about it.
Yeah.
I'm already hearing about awards for Colin Farrell.
The Batman movie is fantastic. I rewatched it not that long ago. And Colin Farrell's performance in that movie is amazing. So I was really looking forward to it. That being said, you don't have to have seen any Batman ever. You don't even have to like Batman to get into this show. There's a brief kind of recap montage thing that catches you up on what happened in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because you have to know why the city's all flooded out. You have to know why, Penguin had a nightclub, a successful nightclub, but now it's in ruins. There's certain things that they have to set for this story. But there's no mention of the Batman in it so far. First episode. There's no mention of Batman. There's no mention of Penguin for that matter. I mean, there's a squat, short man who has such a severe limp, almost like polio. So he kind of wobbles back and forth when he walks. So, I mean, it's there. He does kind of look like a penguin, but it's just left as red. And, maybe some people call him that behind his back. And he's a gangster, but he's not a high level gangster. He's kind of in the middle. He runs an operation. His nightclub was a front for running drugs. He's also into smuggling, but he's not a capo. He's not one of the family. So it's just a mobster story. That's it. It's about a mid-level guy who is kind of amoral, not kind of amoral, pretty amoral. Like, well, okay, he kills people. So completely amoral, right? But you want to equivocate because like that's what Colin Farrell brings to this role is a sympathy to him.
He's a gangster with a heart of gold.
No, like maybe he doesn't have a real heart and it's just like a lump of gold there. That I'd believe more so than blood pumping through the veins. Yeah, it's just a crime story. It's a good, gritty crime story. But yeah, unfortunately, that sounds like we're only going to get this one season unless this does so well.
People watch it, you know how it goes.
Well, yeah, but Colin Farrell has talked quite openly about how grueling it was to do that fat suit for, a whole series.
Yeah, if the check's big enough, bet he'll do it again.
In the first episode, he's called Oswald. His name's, he is Oswald Cobblepot? Yeah, so his name is Oswald Cobb with 2 B's, like that's what's on his business card, but I imagine, he probably just did shorten it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to fucking run drugs, you can't, have people giggling over your last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's called Oswald Oz Little Bitch and Weak Little Pussy Boy in the first episode.
Oh.
But nobody calls him the Penguin.
Yet. Or maybe they never will.
I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I think it's well written enough that I don't really care either way. If it never comes up, so what? We get who the character is. We don't need, that's not essential to understanding it.
It's in the name of the show.
Might finally be time for another golden age of television, of nerd television, at least.
Why is that?
There's just a lot of good stuff out there, like the Penguin Show, Agatha All Along. Had its long talked about debut, a 2-episode premiere. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it's probably the best of any of the Marvel stuff that I've watched. WandaVision was really fucking good, but man, this first 2 episodes is just so strong, and it's a really fun show. So, did you watch any of WandaVision? Were you familiar with the concept of it? Because the character of Wanda was both kind of having a mental breakdown and also has the power to alter reality itself. Each episode was in its own reality of like a TV show archetype. So in the first episode, we get to see Wanda and Vision playing a couple like on the Dick Van Dyke Show, and she's Mary Tyler Moore or somebody like that. And it went on along like that. It wasn't like every episode was its own decade, but it did kind of follow that structure, complete with like each episode would have its own separate intro and show title, So yeah, Agatha All Along starts off as she's, for no reason, her character is not even called Agatha. She's called Agnes. She's playing a kind of asshole cop in a small town. So an archetype that we're very familiar with lately on television. And, she gets called in on a murder, even though she's supposed to be on suspension, but only she can solve it, and they're just playing into every trope on recent cop shows. Not even cop shows, like, murder mystery shows, stuff like that. True crime. Not true crime, but the cousin of true crime. Just crime shows, stuff like that. Like Mayor of Easttown, like True Detective. But of course, this just is, it's a reality that the Agatha, the witch, is trapped in. Agatha was like the big bad from the WandaVision series. She was the witch that, I think she just wanted to steal Wanda's power. She was just jealous. She wanted to alter reality for herself. But it's, God, what is the name of the actor who plays Agatha?
Kathryn Hahn.
Yes, Kathryn Hahn. I've never seen her be bad in anything. She's hilarious.
I know Aubrey Plaza's in it too.
Aubrey Plaza is in it. She is amazing. She plays another witch.
It's a little bit of a Parks and Rec reunion, kinda.
Oh yeah, I guess Kathryn Hahn was she a regular
on the last 3 or 4 seasons? Kinda.
She was
definitely in the.
There was a lot of people that played reoccurring roles later on in that.
Yeah,
like Paul Scheer, and what's the guy who played the asshole with the curly hair?
Oh, he's from here too.
Yeah,
Paul Glazer. No, yeah, is it
sounds
Glazer?
Right. Hold on, I'm not really sure. It sounds right to me.
But yeah, Kathryn Hahn was like his character. Like he wasn't a series regular. John Glazer.
John Glazer, yes.
Yeah, I think Paul Glazer's like a director or some shit.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she was like a regular.
Right.
Yeah.
Aubrey Plaza, I guess, says that she doesn't ever wear underwear, or she should wear underwear. She's talking about underwear a lot. And of course, she knows what she's doing. She wants to get a lot of people to do clickbait headlines that say Aubrey Plaza in underwear.
Yeah.
Which is great. But
also, I feel she leans into her quirkiness.
That's fine. It works for her. I mean, she's got a brand. Like, I think she's gorgeous, right? But she is never going to be like leading lady, getting.
Well, she doesn't chase
cast
those.
with
She doesn't
Brad
chase
Pitt.
those roles.
No, I know. And I'm not saying that as like a slander on her or Tams or what she wants. I have no idea what the fuck she wants. But so I don't know. Like, you got to have a brand, and being the quirky, spooky chick. I mean, if she's putting all this on, well, she wears it well.
She might be, because if you look into her past, she was one of those like valedictorian of her high school type of chicks.
She's a total nerd. That still fits, and I believe that she's smart as fuck. Okay, so here it is. In the middle of a response, finding a rhythm while working with an ensemble, Plaza shifts in her chair. I'm on fire, she says. Why is this happening? I honestly don't know if I'm having an allergic reaction or something to this chair. Is it just me? I don't know. So, yeah, her ass seems to be affected by the chair that she's in. The discomfort seems real until she drops a reference to her new movie. It's fine. I think it's just my old ass, Plaza says in her signature deadpan tone. Maybe I should have worn underwear, but I never do. And then I get fucked. But then later, in this interview, they ask her about her acting advice. She says, I feel like acting is all about, you have to have your body in this weird malleable state. Never have to pee when you're doing a scene. Even if you are like a little bit, maybe I have to pee, just get it all out. Just get whatever fluids out. Be like an empty vessel. If you don't wear underwear, it can come out faster. So don't ever wear underwear in life.
What the fuck is she talking about?
She's fucking with you. She's trolling on these interviews. I love it. She's smart. She knows what she said. She was a valedictorian. You said it. She knows what she's talking about. The libraries are getting shut down around here. The Royal Oak Library, which is not far from me, it had to shut down completely when they opened up a DVD that was left in the box, the like overnight box. Mm-hmm. And they were flies? I figured they were cockroaches. They just said bugs or some sort of infestation.
Oh, gross.
Oh, it appeared to be multiple species of bugs, but we aren't sure.
Oh, yum.
The book drops were immediately locked, and all items were put in bags and transferred to a garage. Would they have to go that far? Well, I guess, if you're going to be, lending stuff back out to the public, what if it has eggs in it?
Mm-hmm.
Eggs. Ooh. Yeah. I saw that yesterday, and then got an email from... There's a number of libraries that I get emails still from because I've moved around. Every time I move, I sign up with
the only person I know that still uses a library.
Yeah. But only digitally. I just do the Hoopla.
Wow. Yeah. Bugs can't get back that way.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the Oak Park Library. So they were closing down for a couple days because they had exterminators come in and look over the place. I guess just to make sure. And they found issues.
Ugh. Come on, people.
It's gross. Poor people are disgusting. Did we ever talk about, did you know the story of the Noid? And why they stopped using the Noid?
I do not know why they stopped using the Noid. Because we were told to avoid the Noid.
Yeah. So
quite frequently in the late 80s.
If you don't know, Domino's Pizza had an ad campaign for a long time. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Noid was created in 1986 for Domino's Pizza. And how long did it run? 1988. There's a Saturday morning cartoon called The Noids.
So, there was?
Yeah.
I watched myself a fair share Saturday morning, especially late 80s.
Remember that.
I feel I would have seen The Noids.
Yeah, the Noid was like a little claymation figure. He was like in a red suit. He had bunny ears for some reason, just so he had something to tug at when he was annoyed. And this whole thing was he wanted to stomp on pizza.
Yeah, he was making your pizza terrible.
Right. He was the reason why before they invented those little tables to put in the middle of the pizza, little patio tables that they can set up in the middle. Before they started doing that, they just didn't give a fuck, and they'd stack 3 or 4 pizzas on top, and yours would get smushed, and the cheese would stick to the top, and then the Noid would pop out somewhere, I guess, and laugh at you.
You're like, I fucked your shit up.
Yeah. Surprised that he had a cartoon show, because, like, did he ever talk? Did the Noid ever have lines?
I just recall various, like, giggles and...
Yeah, he would just either
laughs or screams or... Like, I don't recall Noid Fever sweeping the nation so much there needed to be a Saturday morning cartoon show.
But it was brief, right? Created in 86, TV show in 88, and then January 30th, 1989, the Noid probably feeling at the top of his game, Hell, he's still on vacation. He's probably in Hawaii on a beach somewhere thinking about what season 3 is going to be like and how he's going to, ask for a bigger trailer.
He's listening to Rick Astley.
Yes. He's getting his dick sucked by a Smurf.
Yeah, Smurfette's blowing him.
He's doing rails with Oscar the Grouch. He's fucking living it up. And then Kenneth Lamar Noid, a man whose last name really is Noid, Noid. He walks into a Domino's restaurant in Chamblee, Georgia, armed with a .357 Magnum. That's like the fucking... That's like the Dirty Harry gun. That's big. That's
a big ass gun.
Yeah,
I've held the .357 Magnum. That
is a weighty piece of metal, and definitely imposing to see somebody wield. Like, you fucking mean business. You'd assume you either mean business or you want people to think that you mean business, which is even scarier.
A .357 will stop a bear.
The Noid held 2 employees hostage for over 5 hours after ranting to the employees that the then owner of Domino's, Tom Monahan, was fraudulent and had stolen his name. Can we get a citation on that, Wiki? Was fraudulent. He first forced them to call Domino's headquarters to demand $100,000. Boy, he's thinking, well, of course, this is $89, so... That $100,000 stretched a lot further back then. And a white limousine, boy, this was the 80s, as a getaway transportation for him. Okay.
Way to be incognito.
What's the thinking there? Yeah. To go where?
Jail.
Like, you think
I would like to take a limo to jail.
You're gonna take a white limo to Mexico?
Yeah, they're going to know where you're at.
Yeah. After offering to exchange a hostage for a copy of American postmodern author Robert Anton Wilson's 1985 novel, The Widow's Son.
Okay, this mental illness is clearly in play here.
Noid reneged on his offer when an officer brought him the book. So he's clever. He used it to get a book. He was planning on being there for a while then, huh?
Like, I want a book.
Like, yeah, my first demand is a novel. It has to be at least 300 pages long. It has to be a real novel.
Well, right, too, if you're having a hostage situation at a Domino's, you can't demand pizzas.
Well, he did.
Right. Well, they just make them.
Noid then became hungry and forced the captive employees to make him 2 pizzas. He was really hungry. Well, maybe they were like personals. While Noid ate the pizzas with his gun in his lap, the hostages escaped. Noid surrendered to the police shortly after. 2 shots were fired by the Noid during the incident.
Like the Noid or Noid? Like, did the Noid show up, Peck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to defend Domino's?
Yeah, the real Noid showed up and stomped on his head.
Said, not on my watch.
Yeah.
Popped a couple of rounds into the ceiling.
There's also a video game.
For some reason,
I remember the video game.
I have faint memories of the video game.
It was released for NES.
Yes.
Yo Noid in 1990. I think Avoid the Noid was Yeah, this is just described as a video game. So I think that was a, I don't know, what would you have used at the time? A Tandy? An IBM? Maybe you could get it for Amiga?
Commodore?
A Commodore, yeah.
So I'm guessing after this incident, that was it for the Noid?
I think it kind of put a damper on it. I don't know. Maybe the time was up on the Noid anyway. In 2009, they brought back the Noid for a limited run of 1,000 T-shirts. That's weird. Like, that's not even enough to put Noid on your T-shirt on your employees.
I say basically, so they wore them in the stores.
Right.
People who worked at Domino's in 2009 had T-shirts with the Noid on them.
Boy, how quickly they forget. So they brought back the Noid, and this is great.
And this guy walked right back into that Domino's with a gun?
No.
He's like, I thought we handled this.
So that they did a 2011, they did a 25th anniversary Noid, right? Let's see. Noid was brought back as a promotional figure by Domino's to be used in a campaign on their Facebook page and made a brief appearance as a stuffed toy at the end of a May 2011 commercial promoting a one-topping pizza deal. The 25th anniversary of the Noid mascot was marked with the video game The Noid's Super Pizza Shootout, a tribute to Avoid the Noid, which was the video game. So did it have a shirt? Like, I need a picture of this. But it sounds like, yeah, it was marked with. So it had the words The Noid's Super Pizza Shootout on the stuffed animal to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Noid. Not the shooting. Well, yeah, look, there's the Noid with his pizza crusher.
Yeah.
Which is a
dick
triangular block with a what do you call it? Pogo stick on it. Oh, I see. So he can get on it. He can just pogo and get all the pizzas at once.
So is Avoid the Noid really just a way for them to market, hey, we got these little tables that we put in the pizza boxes now.
Yeah, what was because they said avoid the Noid. You'd go to Domino's to avoid the Noid. So they must have done something. Mm-hmm. Was that the invention of the little tables? I don't know. Or did they just have better boxes? Or maybe it was the fact that it was in box, because not everybody boxed up their pizza. A lot of people were still doing it like Little Caesars did for the longest time.
The bag and board.
The bag and board. Yeah, like they were fucking comic books. Yeah. That's what my earliest pizza memories is, tearing open a pizza on that bag, that big tray that, held both pizzas. You get two larges. Mm-hmm. And you come home and you just grab one end of it and
yep.
Hot fucking pizza steaming up. Pepperoni on one side, your dad's fucking gross mushroom and onions on the other, and you didn't give a fuck.
Pizza.
How do you pronounce this guy's name? Because I thought his name was Brett Favre. Like F-A-R-V-E. It's F-A-V-R-E.
Well, it's pronounced Brett
Favre.
Yeah, but no, Favre. Yeah.
Favre. He has Parkinson's? That sucks. Did you hear about this?
I did. I saw it earlier today. Yeah. And again, let me sit down, wait. A guy who got hit in the head for a living now has a neurological disorder. Yeah. Whoa.
Well, so, did you know, were you following the story of why he was talking to, was he talking to Congress?
No, yeah. I didn't. Yeah, see, I saw that he was diagnosed, but I didn't click on it.
So, I guess there's a scandal. Oh, he was invested in this company that was researching brain disorders and concussion victims and stuff like that, and looking at whatever, cures, prevention. I mean, well, prevention doesn't sell too long, so nobody really pursues that. Mostly what they want is for people to get shit so they can cure it, not so they can prevent, because that's, you just sell a person a prevention once.
Yeah, so money in the cure.
You sell them a cure and then tell them that they got to re-up every year. Now you got a steady income. Now they're on the subscription model.
Money's in the treatment, not the cure.
So, but yeah, I guess it was the doctor who Brett Favre is not, as far as I can tell, under any suspicion that he's done anything wrong. And for that matter, I mean, maybe he did, and maybe that's why he confessed to having Parkinson's. He's like, I don't know what's going on. Who are you? But yeah, by all reports, it was the doctor who was working for this organization that had misspent funds for his own personal use.
So it's Brett saying, I didn't know, I just gave him money? Is that his line?
There's an actual quote here from him. Sadly, I am also an investment in it. Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me, because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's. This is also a cause dear to my heart. Recently, the doctor running the company pleaded guilty to taking public money for his own use. Man, football's still growing, right?
Oh, yeah. It's bigger than ever.
Yeah.
But they're getting a lot more rules.
Like, somebody on Instagram had shared, it was just the intro for, like, some televised, football thing 30 years ago. And the comment on it was like, every play highlighted in this intro would get a player permanently banned.
Yes.
And they show them like clipping guys at the legs and they just go ass over fucking head. Like just stepping on people's backs. Just all kinds of crazy shit they were doing back then.
Yeah, there's a lot more rules limiting contact.
Yeah.
Or types of contact. Like now, if you intentionally do a helmet-to-helmet hit, that gets you kicked out of the fucking league.
Yeah. Yeah, if you just like put your head down and just try and ram somebody, that's not appropriate anymore.
If it is deemed that, you went helmet-to-helmet on purpose, that's it for you. Like there's...
Could you give somebody one in the solar plexus? Could you headbutt them in the stomach? Is that okay?
No, I don't think you can lead with the helmet anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's something, I guess.
By the way, too, these all sound like rules for an orgy as well.
Yeah. These were all rules that were handed out when you entered the freak off.
Yes. Oh, what's about...
And it had an asterisk next to everyone, and then you read at the bottom.
Which, by the way, did you...
Unless you have baby oil.
In addition to the 1,000 bottles...
All bets are off.
...of baby lube and oil, which, by the way, were confirmed were not the travel sizes as we thought. Oh, no.
Full on. Like,
they were
he was going to Costco.
Like, calling, people who... The distributors to Meijer, like, hey, I need some baby oil, like that kind of shit. But in addition to that...
But first, just let me say, you get the call, freak off on this Friday night. You've been to like 8 or 9 of these now. You're appreciative. You want to still get invited. You want to bring a gift, but you're just out of ideas.
Baby oil.
Everybody's showing up with baby oil. He's like, yeah, just put it by the door. Fine.
Or maybe that was part of the cost to get in.
The first couple of times you showed up with Moet. Something nice, Cavassier.
No, maybe you had to bring it to get in, and don't forget your baby oil.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But in addition to that,
yes,
784 dildos.
I love the specificity is the soul of wit.
784 dildos.
784.
That's almost a dildo for each bottle of baby oil. Puffy, what are you doing with 784 dildos?
It just, there's so many more questions now. Did they were these all out in one use at a party? Or was there was
there collected
a closet
over the years?
Yeah.
Are these from guests? Are these all puffies? So many questions.
The biggest gut buster of the last freak off was when a noob showed up and was like, hey, Puff, you got a dildo? And he's like, do I got a dildo?
I got dildo room.
Yeah, he opens these big double doors and they're just on display on shelves, all with a light on each one. First of all, material, glass, latex.
Yeah.
You want...
I got every length, every girth.
You want it to move?
Yeah.
Or no? Species? I got horse dick.
Was he opening a dildo museum?
Alien dick. I got predator dick.
Yeah.
I got Terminator dick. I got turtle dick. I got dolphin dick. I think we got fish dick, but we lost that one in a chick.
I got a dildo for every color of the rainbow.
Yes. Yeah. You East Coast or West Coast?
Right.
You got dick with a grill.
Yeah. You got dick with some spinners on it.
Remote control. And drive that shit up into the pussy.
No, but I guess, too, so
you don't have to ever get lost if you can't find your keys.
But I guess
and can't drive out of the pussy.
There's a lot of apprehension about the guest list to these freak offs coming. Like, I heard like within the last week, guy who I guess was the current head of Warner Music, Puffy, got arrested. He's like, "Oh, I'm retiring."
Just get ahead of that one.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, I guess just the rumor is like, I think it was you, 50 Cent was on Twitter saying you'll never hear from Jay-Z about any of this shit.
I read that. I don't think we brought it up last week.
Like, you'll hear not a word from Jay-Z or Beyonce on any of this.
Oh, because he tells Beyonce everything, right?
Well, no, I guess
she wasn't there.
No, allegedly they were there.
She wasn't. What?
Well, it doesn't mean they participated in the freak-offs. It just means they were at the parties.
I know. It was like the fucking Playboy Mansion, right?
Yeah.
There was freaking going off, but I'm sure you didn't elevator doors open and it's like you're immediately in the orgy scene from Eyes Wide Shut.
Well, I guess with every Diddy party, there was the party everybody was at, and then there was the party not everybody was at.
After the party is the after party.
What did my one buddy say? No, it's going to come out. Biggie and Tupac were fucking, and Biggie knew too much, and Puffy killed both of them.
Did you hear about the beef between Frampton and Megadeth? Dave Mustaine had to tell Peter Frampton to fuck off.
What's the 70-something and the 50-year-old? What do they got beef about?
He was in the Met in Philly, Frampton was. And he told the crowd at the gig, "So we had a show canceled the other day because of weather. And also Megadeth did a sound check, I think a couple of days before our show. And after they finished their sound check, there was structural damage to the stage. I'm not blaming them. Could have been another band, but it looks pretty like it. So sorry, Megadeth, I had to rat on you." So he's saying that Megadeth broke the stage.
Why'd you need to put it on Twitter?
No, he said this to the crowd at the event. Oh. No, he put out on social media the cancellation of the show, the one that he had to cancel, but he didn't call them out. He didn't call out Megadeth.
So is he, that show wasn't canceled because of weather? It's canceled because Megadeth broke the stage?
Yeah, is Megadeth just feigning? Wouldn't you be proud of that? If you were in a heavy metal band...
Right. And then you can't even handle us. Couldn't even handle our sound check,
you're accused of breaking the stage with just your sound check. Not only did you do that, but you also prevented a Peter Frampton show from occurring. That's like a win-win.
Yeah, that's like a badge of honor.
For a metalhead.
We broke the stage or we stopped a Frampton show. Yeah!
Okay, Dave Mustaine says it's disappointing when someone you admire talks out their ass about you. Really? Okay. I don't know. If there's more to his quote, I can't read it because I'm not a Rolling Stones member. Oh, here we go. Here's a news organization that read the Rolling Stones article, so they can tell me what it is. But it won't be until the very bottom of the article.
All right, you gotta go through 900 ads first.
We had a show canceled the other day because of weather. Oh, yeah, that's the quote from it. It seems Frampton was misinformed about our show being canceled. The decision was purely based on safety. It's disappointing when someone you admire, blah, blah, blah. Megadeth's statements of the band did not even get a chance to sound check. Megadeth's rigger was in the venue's steel grid system above the stage, getting ready to hang lights when he noticed there was damage to the venue's grid. He pointed this out immediately to the promoters in the venue. It was determined that it was unsafe for Megadeth to hang their production or put their band on stage at the risk of in-house grid failure to support the weight of the touring light and sound, which could, boy, this is a run-on sentence. This was written by a lawyer, because it ends in crew members, audience, as it could cause serious injury or death.
Thank you, lawyer. It's a CYA statement.
I don't know. Why so serious? Okay. You had legit reasons for not doing the show.
Let's
Peter Frampton made a correlation. Maybe he was trying to be funny. He's like, oh, look at that. Oh, just the day that Megadeth plays just happens to have structural damage.
Let's look at if you're Peter, why throw shade at Megadeth?
Yeah, I think he was being jokey. Maybe he's just too deadpan. I don't know. I don't know Peter Frampton's sense of humor.
Right. It's just probably like everything else nowadays, just taken out of context.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine's known to be a little cranky.
I was going to say, he's not one to roll with anything, you know? He's always been the metalhead with the chip on his shoulder.
He was the guy that got kicked out of Metallica. We're like, dude, you drink too much.
Yeah, but he seems to have gotten over that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out well for him.
It worked out well for him, but I don't think he ever personally got over it.
No. Well, hey, it fueled him.
It definitely worked out well. But like Megadeth did all right. I think they're not as big. Would he like to be as big as Metallica?
His job is still being in Megadeth. He's not Dave Mustaine, the fucking grocery store manager.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, Frampton's aging better than Mustaine is. He looks younger than Dave Mustaine looks.
Well, pictures nowadays online, filters.
Yeah, who knows?
Peter Frampton is in his mid-70s, and Botox can only do so much.
Yeah, someday though, my face will be wrinkled enough that I'll have to cut my hair, or else everyone will just say I look like their aunt. So until that day, we'll sign off for now.
Yes. Go to @theweekend420 social media. Go to christianmedia.net if you want all of the shows from beginning to now. They're all there. christianmedia.net.
No paywall.
No paywall.
You can raw dog that shit.
Yeah. Just mainline it. Beginning to end. Good, the bad, the mediocre. It's all there. christianmedia.net, along with a PayPal button if you'd like to help us out. And another way to help us out is if you have the ability to rate and review the show wherever you listen to it, do that.
That really helps.
It does help other people find the show. Please and thank you. And also, stay high.
Stay high.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.